and the great hip
And good morning and welcome to Touch Base Daily. My name is Ron Foster, touching base with you. Okay, let's see. Is the mic working? It doesn't seem like it wants to work. What's going on here? Let's see here. Okay, let's pop this in here. And can you hear me? I hope you guys can hear me. And there we go. I see it. I see it. There we go. Testing, testing. It's a whole new world. So, how are you all handling all of this war and what's going on? How are you feeling this morning? How are you dealing with it? How are you dealing with your families? How are you dealing with the news? It doesn't look good. It doesn't feel good. Um, yeah, it's very stressful. And yeah, so I was just saying, let me come on. As usual, I'm trying to be more on time and be where we are, technically speaking. I don't put out the usually I used to put out the we're going to be on at such and such a time, certain days, but because you can almost guarantee I'll be here 11 o'clock every day. But it's just a matter of am I here in a space? Am I on a porch? Or am I on the road? Am I in a car? But overall, I'm here. Can you hear me, Chris? Does everything sound good? You're my sound check person today. And so we'll see who else is out in the building. But yes, so America is at war, and I'm going to share something from Keith Birkin. Sorry, Bolkin, Bulk. Blah, 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 blah. I'll share that. Where am I? I am right now in Montpellier, Montpellier. I can't ever say it right, but I'm in the south of France. My brain just can't take, my brain doesn't connect with certain words, and I don't know why I have that flaw. I have a flaw, and so it's a flaw that I'm trying to live with and trying to work through. But it is so beautiful here. And how you spell it is Montpellier. How about that? I should put that on the screen, right? Let me invite the Instagrammers here as well, since they will know that I'm here. And like I said, I will try to be here every day around this time. The only time tomorrow, yeah, I should be hopefully in Germany on Thursday, so I'll be here on time, I do believe. And so let's see here, public, and I got I finally photographed something that I was really excited about, and then I did share that it was a little photo shoot that I did. My buddy was out feeding the apples to the horses, and I was able to photograph these wild horses. And for those that know me, I love horses. And he says it's 10:06 in New York City. It's 4:06. Well, now 4:07 in the south of France in Montpellier. Montpellier. There we go. That's it. Montpellier. So here you get there. My brain got it. My brain got it. I probably have to say it like 1,000 times a day in order to get the name of this place, but it is so beautiful. Yesterday, I was out in the marketplace. I walked around the city. I saw Roman built aqueducts that were, I mean, think about it, the Romans built it. So about 2,000 plus years old, and absolutely beautiful structures. I was able to photograph those. And It was just yesterday, the weather was beautiful. Today is quite cool, so I normally would have been outside doing this, but I was like, I'm gonna do this from my room." And so I'm in my room and, versus outside, and, so I hope you're all doing well. I know that a lot of folks in the States are feeling stressed. To be quite honest, if I didn't turn on the news, I wouldn't know what was happening in the world because the people here don't care. At least they don't show it. And France is is removed from this war that the American president declared on Iran. And so a lot of countries are staying out of this, as in the Western, I do believe also NATO. The only one that has seemed to be is seeming to give some kind of a hand is the UK, which I was terribly disappointed in that. Uh, you have a honeycomb. You like she likes my chair. You see my chair? So but anyway, let me get the Instagrammers in here. 'Cause you see how I got distracted with you? You see how I got so distracted? Let me do this real quick. And it is Monday. It is Motivation Monday. And so we will act accordingly, as they say. It is Motivation Monday. And so we're going to leave here on some motivational notes. And then for the Patreon folks, I will be also posting some stuff in the Patreon community and getting back to my regular postings now that I'm starting to settle down. Things like my schedule is big. I'm understanding my schedule better. I'm understanding my timeline better. And right out the gate, it's hard to believe I've been away now for 2 weeks out of the States. And so I am here. I am now beginning week 3. Can you believe it? It's already week 3. I left on the 16th, right? And and then I've been here. So it's been fabulous. Portugal was great. Here is great, but I have to tell you, I'm, I'm I'm gonna tell you what happened this weekend that was really special. That was yesterday. And but let me just say hello to some folks this morning. And the first person in the building is let's see, it says Christina Ronnie Ron. So it's so beautiful. Wait, first of all, you have to say hello. Christina, Kristen R, you have to say hello. Not Ronnie Ron, but okay, I'll go. I'll take it. Ronnie Ron. I'll take it. It's so beautiful, she said. And where are you, sir? Okay, I got that. Crisp and clear. And oh, this Chris R, wonderful Chris R is in the building. She gets the silver because Christiner 6104 got the gold this morning. And I have something to tell you. I did a thing yesterday. What did you do yesterday? I wonder what did you do? And then also, so Lisa says, it's 10:06, but we established that it is 6 hours difference from New York, from the East Coast. You are early today. Glad I was already on my phone to get the notifications. Good evening, Ron. Good morning, everyone else. So, yeah, the last 4 shows have been on time, for the most part. So I was here, I think Friday, Thursday, and Wednesday. Like I said, I'm getting a good schedule. And back to your 11 o'clock, our 11 o'clock show. And we are doing this all as well. So this is cool. And let me just see something here. I want to make a change on my sound for a moment. I probably shouldn't be doing that, but let me see here. Yeah, okay. Okay, it's all right. Okay, it's in the right place. And macro. We want to have this mic. Du-du-du-du-du. Okay, I see. Okay, I'm just gonna leave. I'm gonna leave it. I'm going to leave it alone. Okay, so I see here Kelly A. So Lisa got the bronze, y'all. Lisa got the bronze, and Kelly A says, "Oh, let me get down the screen. Come on, screen. Oh, what's going on? Come on, screen. Let me pop this here. There we go. I'm stuck. I don't know why that's stuck. Okay, let's try something else. Oh, what is happening? My cursor is working, but something. Okay, let me see what is causing me not to be able to change. Okay, let me get this on it. First of all, it's Motivation Monday. There we go. There we go. It's Motivation Monday. And let's go back to our comments and see if that's going to work now. And okay, here we go. So Kelly A is in the building. It doesn't seem to want. Oh, there we go. Good morning, everyone, says Kelly A. She says, "Good morning, everyone, and good evening, Ron. It is evening here." And then Lisa's making fun of my chair. She says, "The chair behind you makes it seem like you have a honey blonde mullet." A mullet, and anyone see it? No. No. But this is like a throne. And see, yeah, okay, yeah. Iran said, "Hold my beer." Yeah, Iran is not playing. They're not playing this time around. Dr. Tachi's in the building, and she says, "Hey y'all, hey all. I booked my flight to SE Asia, South Asia. Nice. Congratulations on that. Yes, it's I'm challenging everyone to travel and to get out of the rat race of America. If you can get out, get out. Get out while you can. Because you don't know what's going to happen in the future. So if you can travel, travel. Travel now. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Let me get this here. And maybe I need a book or something. There we go. Lisa says, "Wait, I thought that was the same person, Kristen R. No, no, this is a different person. Kristener is another person. We have a couple of Christ and Chris in the building. And Bryson's in the building, says, "What's up, Ron? What's up, everybody?" And Lisa says, "But I was saying it's the 10 o'clock show now, or are just early today." Wait, what time is it in New York? I mean, East Coast right now. Is it 10 o'clock? Is it 10 or 11? Oh, it's 10. I'm early. I had an extra hour to go. I'm early. I read my clock wrong. I read my So it's 10 o'clock where you are. Yes, it's 6 hours. Thank you, Lisa, for keeping me honest. I'm early, so maybe we'll do an extension. So, yeah, I am early. Okay, let me just leave you guys and come back. No, I won't do that. But I see here, oh, Chris says, hold on a second, let me pop down the screen. Christian Air says, Mercury retrograde. Yes, so I heard. One of my friends sent that out to me as a matter of fact this week. Um, here we go. Yeah, I can't seem to get this thing to cooperate. I don't understand. Why is this not? There we go. Lisa says, Dr. Tachi says, Lisa, that would be a diabolical mullet. And he says, I feel so bad, or all the high-rise buildings being hit. Why kill innocent people? You know, I saw one of the bombs, two of the bombs were not that far away from the Caliph in Dubai. And I said, what if they hit the Caliph or some major, these, because, the Middle East has come a long way, Dubai. Doha. Um, a lot of these countries and cities have come a long way when you think about the Middle East. The money, the skyscrapers, the stores, the influences, the movies. I mean, it's all structured. They are real. These are real cities with real economic power, and to see them attacked. But this is what happens when you get in bed with a flea bag. And Doha and Qatar and the UE, they got in bed with Trump. And there's a penalty to be paid, unfortunately, when you get in bed with Trump. He's just bad. He's bad news. And everything he touches dies, says the writer. And yeah, I'm an hour earlier. Yeah. Um, so Kelly, you like Ron is really early because it's 9 o'clock. 9:20. Yeah, so I'm early. Okay, so that's a good thing though. I have a lot to share. So I'm gonna spend some time with you guys. And I want to know your thoughts. I want to know what you're thinking about. So this will be a great time to just have a great conversation, right? If anybody wants to pop on, you are more than welcome to pop on as well. And being an American ally is dangerous, especially today's world. This is not America of the 6 years ago, 5 years ago, shoot, even 3 years ago. Our friends are now on guard of who we are. We don't have too many friends in the world, and that puts us in a very dangerous place. Um, Lisa says so many ancient structures that are now at risk all over the world. Exactly. I mean, all that we've worked for in the world to become more stable. Okay, I'm not sure why. Okay, there we go. Still having problems with this. Okay, there we go. And clearly he didn't obliterate exactly the first go round. Exactly. We did a good job. We had an excellent plan. We got rid of all those weapons. We did such and such. We did it all. But you did. Why are you there? Lies. Nothing can be trusted out of this administration, which some are calling a regime. You can't trust it. You cannot trust this White House. You just can't. And you can't trust the media. I have to tell you, the media coverage here in France is much different from in America. And and some of the questions, like I was looking at CNN, yesterday, and I was like, "What the hell? Why is Dana not asking the right questions?" Like, why isn't she not jumping in and saying, that's wrong? I don't know. I don't know. And then so the American citizen can't make decisions because they're not getting the truth. That they are not getting the truth from the media. But most of us don't look at mainstream media any longer anyway. Chris says that they would rather blow up the whole world than release the rest of the files, and he wants to stop the midterm elections. It's disgusting. Yes, yes, you're hitting it on the nose. This is all a distraction, 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 distraction. Because at the end of the day, it should be about Epstein, Epstein, Epstein. And can we just say The Epstein class, the Epstein class, the Epstein class. Only people making money. Think about, do you know how much money it costs to put the Navy and all of the military assets that we have into Iran? And how much money is being spent daily? Do you know how much money we lost in just one of our fighter planes going down in flames, allegedly by friendly fire in Kuwait? That one plane could feed everyone in America for a year or two. One plane. The only ones that make out are the people that are in charge of these countries, military building countries that build the machinery. They're making money. All of these owners of all these companies are making so much money in this administration, and that's why they don't care. Lisa says, I saw a video earlier where an Iranian was saying something about the Epstein files to the American people. Yes, even in, I've heard several people chatting in like interviews in Iran and over in the Middle East. They're saying this is a distraction from the Epstein files. People know. The rest of the world knows. And the person in the White House thinks the world is stupid. Dr. Tachi says American mainstream media cannot be trusted because of the hands it lies in. Look for trusted independent sources and foreign sources. I've been looking at Al Jazeera, and I have to tell you, the news coverage there has been really good on Al Jazeera. Um, the numbers seem to be accurate, the information seems to be accurate. Yeah, and then I go to Midas Touch, and then I go to obviously Don Lemon, and then I have so uh, Joy Reid, and so there you go. Also, let me put this on the screen. This is from Chris. Chris says they've spent years making black and brown people the enemy, and now that the curtain is being pulled back, look who the real devils are. Also, Chris Bison says too, Don Lemon was there at the NAACP Image Awards, said a few couple of things, and yes to all the nominations. Don won, I think, was it 3 or 4? Was it all 4 awards for the at the award show for the NAACP? I know that he won some awards, if not all of them, that he was nominated for, which is great news. Doing better than he was at corporate media. 4. Thank you, Lisa. It was all 4 categories. And thank you. Thank you, Bryson. 4 awards. So let me while I have you here, I want to bring up on the screen. Let me just get this for you all because I think this is a great summary. And you know how we are in this creative world, the creative space. I hope to, because I know some of the creatives out there don't look at news at all. And I know some of our creative community doesn't really care what's going on, but you should care about what's happening. It's important as a creative because you are going to have to start strategizing of what the world's going to look like and how you're going to share your craft with the world, and how will you make money if the economy is not doing well, and how can you find sources for you to make money? Okay, let me just go here. um it's like Keith. There we go. Keith, just wanted to get that out on the screen. Keith, yeah, that's Keith. Okay, so this is from Keith. and he obviously always share great information. And so let's take a listen to Keith. Okay, and here we go. Let's say here. Here we go. And let's listen.
They're calling it a victory. The supreme leader is dead and Iranians are celebrating, they say. But at least 3 U.S. service members have been killed. Hundreds of Iranians are dead. 150 killed at a girls' school in Iran. Dozens at the U.S. consulate in Pakistan. The Strait of Hormuz is on lockdown, and thousands of Iranians are once again in the streets chanting, "Death to America." As George W. Bush learned in Iraq, the consequences of war don't end with a mission accomplished sign. The death toll will rise, destruction will continue, and vengeance may come years later, all for a war of choice. Like the attack on Venezuela, the war in Iran is a manufactured crisis, brought to you this time by America's scandal-plagued president and Israel's scandal-plagued prime minister. They pulled out of President Obama's nuclear deal, bombed Iran's nuclear facilities, claimed that they were totally obliterated, reopened negotiations, and then assassinated Iran's leaders while talks were still happening to destroy the same program they said was already gone. The U.S. loves to bully weaker countries, and that's the problem. We know how to start wars, but not how to end them. Every bomb dropped in a foreign hospital, school, or apartment building that we soon forget about stays etched in the memories of the survivors. That's how we got here in the first place. Our government helped overthrow Iran's democratically elected leader in 1953, propped up the Shah to be their dictator for 25 years, and set the stage for the 1979 Islamic Revolution that still haunts us today. I don't support Iran's government. They imposed religious rule, restricted freedom of the press, stifled dissent, took away women's rights, and killed LGBTQ people. But those are some of the same things that MAGA wants to do in this country. Two wrongs don't make a right, and Iran's abuses don't justify America's illegal and unprovoked war. Trump came into office promising no new wars, but in the past year, he's attacked 7 countries: Iran, Iraq, Nigeria, Somalia, Syria, Venezuela, and Yemen, and threatened others like Greenland. Meanwhile, he's manufactured an immigrant invasion in Minneapolis and Los Angeles to justify an ICE war in America's cities. Then he hyped his base to believe he had to murder fishermen in the Caribbean to stop drug trafficking, but quickly moved on once he got hold of Venezuela's oil. And the great hypocrisy is that America loves to lecture Black people to practice nonviolence. But when the powerful want something, whether it's indigenous land, free Black labor, cheap oil, or to overturn a U.S. election, they repeatedly choose force over diplomacy. Violence isn't their last resort. It's their first instinct.
And I love that. I think he did such a great job with sharing that and that information. And what do you guys think? And I'm curious about what you guys are thinking right now. How are you feeling? How are you dealing? We lost when he recorded that. He said 3 soldiers, but it is now 4 soldiers that have died in the Middle East due to this crisis here. And so there's going to be a lot of moms that are not happy because there's not, the old saying, war, what is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Say it again and again and again. War, what is it good for? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Yeah. 4 that they talked about, exactly. Violence isn't their last resort, it's their first instinct. Sheesh, says Dr. Tashi. Well, now, wasn't that was, Keith lays it down. I have to say, Mr. KB. Mr. KB lays it down. He is so good. But violence isn't their last resort, it's their first instinct. And yes, Dr. Tachi says 4 that they are talking about. So there could be more people that are injured from the plane crash or the plane being shot down. Um, what's that? It says send. What's the what's oh send what's this? What is this? Lisa? Is what's that cube? I can't figure out what the cube is. Send. Anyway, if you're in the building, make sure you hit the likes. Make sure you hit the subscribe if you're here for the first time. And oh, she said send them. Send. I agree, Lisa. Send them. Send the White House. Send them. Okay. Send them. And so this weekend, let me tell you a story. And this story is going to hopefully motivate you since it is Motivation Monday. And so yesterday, I was wandering around um, with my buddy's husband, and we were roaming. And he grew up here. This is his. He grew up here, went to school here. His life is here. Family, and so he gave me a tour of his world. He said the cube is a frozen water. Thank you. That's ice. Thank you. Oh, the cube is a frozen water gang. It takes me a while, y'all. It takes a while for some of these things. I don't know why this thing is it the cursor? What is going on with the cursor? There we go. Don't laugh at me. Don't laugh. I was like, what is that? And it's an ice cube. I get it now. And Fifi's in the building. She says, if I can get this screen to work properly, I don't know why this is happening like this, but it doesn't want to cooperate. Huh. Okay. I can't seem to get the Fifi's statement up on the screen. It won't allow me to get it up there. Oh, okay. So anyway, let me just take this one off. Okay. Um, oh, Lee's was there at the NAACP Image Awards. Wow, I did not know that. I did not know that, Bryson. There we go. That's one. We can get another one. There's Fifi. There she says, "Driving love you all." And Adrian's in the building. Did someone say Adrian? Are you calling Adrian? You calling for Adrian? So, so anyway, let me tell you my story from yesterday. So yesterday, I had the opportunity, like I said, um, we drove into the city, Montpelier, and Montpelier. So there we go. I'm getting better at this. Montpelier. There we go. I got it. Montpelier. And so we parked the car and we walked around. So we saw this ancient Roman built aqueduct here in the city. A, a good chunk of it is still left. And it doesn't work, but it was built by the Romans. And so we were walking, and there's a lot of old structures. And so we're walking by the arch, um, like the arch in Paris, but it's a smaller version of it. What I call the Arch Triomphe. And so we're walking, and my buddy says to me, he says, "Oh, this is about 400 years old." He said, "Oh, it's not." He says, "It's only 400 years old." I said, "You do know America is only." I said, "Could you say, give me some relativity here? 400 years old. That's a lot of years." So, and I said to him, I said, America is just turning 250 years. Most of this country has been around for 2,500 years and more. And in the ruins. And so we're walking around, and it was so good to like walk around and see the structures, the architecture, and you see some of the structures are also like the structures that are in Paris. And I was like, wow, that's really cool. That's really cool. And she said she's calling for him to come get me. Think Perrier. The water, yes, that's a good way, Lisa, to say it, right? With LLs instead. Like, you know what? I like that. Thank you. Lisa, you're so good at this stuff. Anyway, that's where we were with the Perrier with the LLs. And so that was really good. That's a good one. That's a really good one. Okay, so back to the story. So when you get to the top of the hill, there's a flea market, and there's people from all over with their flea market stuff, like lampshades and lamps and glasses and like glassware and photos and banners and posters, and the list goes on and on. Beautiful stuff. So I'm continuing to take pictures, and taking pictures of the people, and I'll put all those in my stories later on today. I'm almost all caught up with my stories, so now I'm up to where I am. Like I posted yesterday's, so well, yeah, today will be posted. And so we're walking. Then we come across this hill, and the hill was like really, really steep. It was a steep hill, and my buddy said, "Are you cool with this hill?" I said, "Look, the only thing that I'm not cool with is knowing that for what goes down, that means we're gonna have to take the same steep hill coming back up." Anyway, so we get down, and we're walking in now in the center of town where the um we're gonna call it the trolley cars are moving through, like modern trolley cars. And and then my friend says hello to these two black women who are walking in the walking in the opposite direction of us. And then they respond, and then he says, and I guess you could tell that they weren't from obviously from there. And they sound American. Next thing you know, I find out that the daughter is from San Diego in California, and the mom is from Kansas. Well, the story gets even more interesting. And we ended up talking, and I was sharing with them. I was a nomad. I saw my, oh, so they, no, they shared with me first. And I said, so what brings you to this area of the world? And they said, "Oh, well," it says, 3 years ago, we sold everything and we became, nomads." And I was like, "Wait, you're nomads too?" I was like, "You're nomads? I'm a nomad. I am a nomad." And I said, "So you guys did it 3 years ago?" And they said, and then the younger one, the daughter says, "No, my mom did it first, and then I followed suit." So, and the daughter moved to Barcelona, and so they're renting. So that obviously no one buys anything when you're a nomad. So they bought I mean, they're renting, the mother's renting it here, and the daughter is renting in Barcelona. And so they were having a Sunday get together because Barcelona is like a 3-hour drive, I do believe, from here. And so we end up talking, and we were talking about the values of life and how life is short and we should live our best lives now. And I said to the mom, I said, "What made you become an expat? What made you decide to become a nomad? What made you decide to leave America?" And she went down the list, the normal list, the better food, better options, better, better people, as in what we mean by people is um, people that are responding to just living life and being happy with living life, not so not chained by their jobs and positions, but just living life. So we end up talking. We talked some more, and then she would share with me how she emptied out her apartment and gave things away, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's what I did." I mean, when you decide to leave, you just say, "You know what? I don't care who takes the stuff. I just want to be out." And you are so motivated to get out and out of the US. And And then we ran around, we talked about other people that we knew and that we met and throughout the city and our time. I was mentioning the people that I met in Lisbon and my neighbor who lives in Lisbon, who now lives in Lisbon, and my other friends that you guys met my friend that I went to her house in Paris, my friend Jessica, and I went to hang out with her, my Chinese friend, and she's started a new life and has a boyfriend and all the stuff she just loves Paris, and she had to go back for something this weekend, but but and then she's like encouraging me to be, Ron, if you decide to live in Paris, I can plug you into the society life here. And I was like, oh, that sounds good. So, but anyway, back to the story. So she then started to share, and the daughter started to share about how they decided to live life at the fullest they could live life, and that they were tired of, like most of us who decide to leave America, um, or live in America on a part-time basis, is again, you don't have the fear of being shot in a store. You don't have the fear of ICE breaking down your door. You don't have to, a lot of things that we're going through in America right now is just so stressful. And then I was sharing with them, I've been here 2 weeks. I can feel the difference. I can feel my my consciousness is I'm lighter. I feel lighter, and the foods that I'm eating are definitely making me feel better. And I'm feeling better on all levels. Like my skin has always been clear, but my skin feels even, I look in the mirror, is even more clear. And I've been eating like I normally eat, and I'm losing weight. I'm losing weight, and I'm seeing a couple of pounds are gone. And I've only been here 2 weeks. Obviously, I've been moving around, exercising, getting up in the mornings, and walking the cities. And the life is just better. Obviously, you saw the couple of snippets I shared with you guys about the restaurant, sorry, not the restaurants, but the grocery stores and the vast selections of everything, like 50 types of butter, 50 types of cheeses, hundreds of wines, all kinds of stuff. But anyway, let me go continue with the story. And we were talking about, I was sharing with her how I feel so much different after just being here for 2 weeks. And she says, yes, that's how it happened. That's how it happens. Because the food is so much better. You don't have, because I'm eating foods that I used to eat when I was a kid. And now I'm remembering what a cantaloupe used to taste like. Like, what does an orange taste like? Like when we were kids. I mean, like juicy oranges, juicy cantaloupes, fruit that's amazingly tasty. And it's just Everything is fresh, and you feel it on your body. You feel the difference. And so then we started talking more on this corner. We were on a corner, believe it. We're just hanging out on a corner talking. And then we start talking about being healthy. And then I talked to the mom and the daughter because they were both there. We all had the conversation. And I said, I am a cancer survivor because, last year this time I was recovering from cancer surgery. And she said, really? And then she shared, before I left, I had the same situation. She said, I had a lump, I think it was on her breast, somewhere in her chest. And then she shared, she just happened to go to the doctors. They discovered it. She had it removed, found out it was cancer. Now she's cancer free. And then because she had this particular cancer, she told her daughter, you need to go get checked out and see if you have cancer or maybe something's wrong there. And guess what? The daughter had cancer too. And then did the same surgery and had it removed. So we were three people on a corner hanging out, filled with such gratitude that the universe, God, for me, it's God, but for some folks, it's the universe. And it can be both. You, you realize that God is giving you a hand, an extra lease on life. And we were both like, wow. And now we're rejoicing. So now we are thankful about being expats, but now we're rejoicing. We are rejoicing that we are cancer free. We're living our best lives. We're nomads. We're traveling to different countries. We're traveling the world. And it doesn't cost as much than you think to do it. And most people think with all the bills and all the stuff in America, if you can just unload it all, you can live your best life outside of America. And we would just literally, I told her, I said, I'm about to cry. I was almost in tears because of the joy I felt. The joy. One, the joy for them being cancer free, and that I'm cancer free. And we're just rejoicing. We're just rejoicing. And then I said, hey, I said, can I take a picture of you guys? Can I do a quick portrait of you two? And then they allowed me to do a beautiful portrait of them. And I can't wait to get the portrait to them. We to exchange information. Then they gave me information about the digital nomad visa, how I can get that, and the best way to get it. And they're waiting for theirs to be approved. And I said, oh, this is great stuff. Great stuff. And oh, I see that I missed that. Kristen says, I understand, Lisa. My mom passed away years ago. I wouldn't leave my grandma, but I lost her March 3rd last year. She came to me and gave me the green light to leave. She's watching over me. Oh, our condolences. And yeah. Lisa says before that, God willing, I will be able to do this in a couple of years. I just can't leave my mom right now. Um, Fifi says, you look so relaxed and happy. I have never felt I can't remember feeling this good since I was a child. That is how good I feel. My world feels, I'm learning, I'm learning so much. It's like my brain is now functioning on a level that it hasn't functioned in years. And Yeah. Uh, oh, and then Dr. Chachi says, "Come on now, nomad glow." I'm glowing. People, I walk into, I see people, and or I'm online with my friends, and they go, "Ron, you are glowing. You look so relaxed." This is the first time in my life with very little stress, very little stress, and I love this. This is um, let's see here. Condolences, blessed, motivated, blessed and motivated Monday. So this is Motivation Monday. So I want to really encourage someone. So today, after that, we exchange information. We must have talked for about maybe a half hour on this corner, but it was the best half hour I spent so far in Europe. And I've been here, like I said, 2 weeks. And these are, yeah, the praise reports, right? We were having a testimony time, back in church time when I was back in the church in my dad's church growing up. We were like, it's time to testify. When God does something good, you need to testify. And that's what we're doing. We're testifying of, I say, God's goodness and mercy and grace. I know some people don't believe in God, but I do. Um, I believe in a higher power. I believe this our ancestors. I think there's a combination of it all. The universe, our ancestors, God, angels. th- Maybe the ancestors are our angels. I don't know. We'll only know when we cross over. But I can tell you the benefits of all of it. And so we're out again. So we go out. We left them, and I'm photographing all of these incredible places in the city center. And and then we arrived back home last night in the evening. I was like before the sunset. And the reason why is because we had guests coming to the house. So Abdir, which is my friend's husband, lives and was born and raised here. And do you know his whole family? Can I say this again? Because it brings tears, it makes me want to just cry. His whole family came to the house to meet me. Who does that? Who does that? It was like, what? And they showed up. We had a feast last night. I mean, my friend Vivian and Vivian worked her butt off. She cooked and made, we had salmon, we had chicken, we had um eggplant, we had rice, and we had veggies, and everything was fresh. It was a big feast. And they were, and Abdir's family is Muslim, and for most part, and they're from Morocco, and originally their ancestors are from Morocco, and then they're here. And when his nephew was in New York, I took him under my wing and showed him around New York, and took him to Harlem, went to Midtown. And so when I arrived here, they were just so thankful that someone, you know, took care of their nephew, his sister's son. But not only that, I mean, the brothers showed up, friends of the brothers and sisters showed up. It was a feast. But this is the norm in Europe. especially out here outside of Paris, where people celebrate people. And I miss those days. I remember when I was a kid, we celebrated everything. My aunt used to have all kinds of stuff at her house, and we used to get on the bus and travel to Queens. So I'm saying this. What's my motivation point here? One, if you are a believer, like a Bible believer, a Christian, or if you're a Muslim faith or Jewish faith, if you're of the faith, then you know that part of the teaching is that our faith gives us a life of abundance, not so much financially, even though that can be a blessing too, but we live in an abundance of grace and mercy and friendships and people and love and those things are so important to our existence. The house will go, the fortunes will go, the cars will go, everything goes, but the people, they remain. And how you make people feel is what they will remember. And then all that you do for others is what they will remember. And all that they do for you is what you will remember. The moments on the corner talking about your victories and how you're learning and your achievements based on faith and getting out into the world and testing yourself and pushing yourself. It was so rewarding. Hey, Omar, I see you in the building. And you realize the rest of the world is not in the rat race. My brother was like, "Oh, you have to come back home because there's a war." I was like, "Hell no, there's a reason why I need to stay." I said, "I'm staying here. I'm never coming back." But I am coming back. I'll be back in July or June. But the lessons I'm learning day by day, every day I wake up with new lessons learned. I should say good, I go to bed with new lessons learned, and I wake up in the morning with an expectancy to learn some more. I've learned so much in 2 weeks. It's like going to a university, the university of life and humanity. So Chris and I were talking this morning. As you know, we do our our checkup every Monday. We've been doing this since COVID. Yes, your boy Chris Edwards. And I was sharing with him, and I was sharing with, if there's a goal that everyone needs to go after right now, and it's hard to achieve in a lot of cases, if you can clean up your debt, do it. If you can clean up your debt, because I know it was a stressor on me that stressed me to no end. Bills, 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 mortgage, maintenance, rentals, insurances, medical, home, car fare, transportation. The list of bills, food, living in the rat race. And I can tell you, one of my friends right now, he has a great job. He has two great jobs, two great jobs. And I said to him, I said, "You have been handed the blessing of a lifetime." I said, "You can take one of those jobs and just continually pay down every debt you have, everything you can do. And it's going to be painful, But I can tell you the freedom you feel of being debt free is beyond your imagination. It's beyond your imagination. The feeling of freedom is beyond your brain's capacity to understand it while living in America, living on the treadmill, living on the what do you call it, the little mouse mill, the little mouse goes around that little, you know, that little wheel, hamster wheel. If I can encourage someone today, and if you have the means, not everyone has the means to even pay off their debts, but if you can, do it. Make this year your mandatory efforts to pay off your debts so you can be free, so you can escape. You can escape. So my brother was like, this today, he was like, well, he says, what about family? I said, that's what they make technology for. I was like, I can come, I'm not leaving America forever. No, I'm coming back to America to, there's things I can only do in America, and that's make some money in America. But there's a place where if you can get out of America and get off the hamster wheel, there's a freedom on a level that you cannot understand. But the first thing to do, if I may say to you, I can't tell people what to do, but if I may suggest to you, make every effort to get those debts cleared up. Join those, I guess there are some agencies to help you clean up your debt if that's necessary. But get out there and really make an effort if you can, if you can. And but also I want you to know there's a bigger world out here that I'm discovering. I decided to take this nomad life and bring it to you as I'm doing it. Not because, look, I could just literally just do nothing and just live my life and not come on here ever again, right? But I come on here because I want to hopefully encourage you, give you some hope, give you some wisdom along the way. Let me see what you guys are saying in here. Let me see if this is going to react properly. Come on. I don't know why this is acting like this today. Lisa says, listen, Saturday, I was definitely like, I'm out. Someone hit and run my car while it was parked in front of my house, but soon come. Lisa, I'm so sorry. I've had that happen to my car years ago when I had a car. That's the worst. And Omar says, hold on a second. There we go. Omar says, the chats are not showing up on my other channel. It does that sometimes, Mr. Omar. I don't know why. Something's a little funky here today, or in the last couple of weeks, last week. I'm trying to get this thing to react. Why is it? Okay, let's try this again. It keeps scrolling, and something is wrong with StreamYard, I think. Yeah, it's the StreamYard. And okay, there we go. I got it. Christina says, I was brought up in the church. My dad is a bishop. That explains my crazy ass. Yes. You're a PK like me, and we PKs can be a little crazy. And Omar says, "Hey, all we got that earlier. Are you in their house now?" I'm in my I'm in Vivian, and they're renting this house, beautiful house here, and it's beautiful, and I just love it here. I'm gonna miss this place when I mean I'm leaving this week at the end of the week, and I'm just like I'm gonna miss it. I'm gonna it's not the house, it's the friends. I love my friends. I The greatest gift are friends. Like I said, the best gift in the world are good people. Now I'm trying to figure out again. And let me here we go. Let's see. There we go. I got another one up. Oh, so sweet. Says, and hey Lisa, the rest of the world are not rats. The rest of the world are not rats. No, the world, the rest of the world is not rats. Exactly, says Omar. Man, this cursor is driving me insane right here today. Don't know what it is. Let me try something else. Maybe my pen. Yeah, it's just keeps not wanting to respond. There we go. The rest of the rest of the world are not rats, meaning they're not in the rat race. And Classic says, yes, cultural roots and practices within families and communities are important. Other countries differ. Also, um, okay, here we go with the scroll again. Mm, Today is a challenging day on this Touch Base Daily. Technology is always something every day. I don't know why this thing won't stay put in place. It keeps scrolling like it won't stick. There we go. My mom was buried on my birthday when I was 11. I have not celebrated my birthday because I always felt too sad. And as life went on, I did not celebrate. But this year I will in Southeast Asia. Christopher, I am sending hugs to you. Celebrate. Celebrate. And I'm sure your mom would be glad to celebrate. And guess what? She's put the ancestors, and I'm sure, I don't know how it works, but I tell you, the ancestors must be moving in our behalf because I've seen some miracles in my world. You can't explain some stuff, but the ancestors do it. Let's see here. Let's see here, Dr. Tachi, morning blessings. Okay, I see the hands going up. Y- you know, Lisa, this is an interesting. Lisa says something very interesting here. Listen to this. I would leave first and pay down while I'm out of the country. Other countries don't have credit, and you can thrive in them and still pay off your debts in America. First of all, if you find a country that is way less to what way the cost of living is way lower than in America, and you've created some savings and you can make money abroad, meaning you can make money through online, like through you don't have to be at an office. This is very true because you're going to be saving so much money living at a quarter or a half, depending on where you live, and still make the money coming in the US if you're doing jobs that you can do through your computer overseas somewhere else, you could pay off your debt a lot faster. Yes, right. This is very true. That's the math. The math. The math be mathing. That is a math equation that is good. Yeah. May the ancestors punish them, Lisa says. I love Dr. Tachi. Dr. Tachi, you came up over dinner last night. So, one of the young people that was here yesterday is in college. Now, if I can get this off the screen, hold on a second. Let me pop this off the screen. Let me just go back to. Let me try to figure this out because this this is like so bad today on the scroll. Okay. The scrolling ain't scrolling today. The scroll ain't scrolling. So, Dr. Tachi, there's a young lady that I'm going to reach out to you that is going to reach out to you. She is studying journalism here in Montpellier, 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 and so she is studying journalism. And I told her about you and that you are a college professor, you know, you know journalism. And I also get she also became a new subscriber to your channel last night because we went through your page together and she got to see your work. And so, and her brother, who I entertained, was in New York, was like, oh, this would be good for my sister. So we're all in the family, and then they're talking. Then they helped me with my French. So we were learning. They were helping me better orientate myself to my learning of French because I've come a good way, but I got a long way to go. And so it was really beautiful. And so you came up at the dinner table last night, Dr. Tachi. Even in France, you are mentioned around the world. Let's look at that. You are a global, you're a global sensation. And let me see else what you guys are saying. Me, I came up. Yep, you came up. You came up. Good morning. Hey, Jazzy. Jazzy's in the building. Jazzy, I'm having switching problems over here with my comments. So if I could just get not scrolling, if I could just get this thing to work with me, it doesn't want to work. It works peacefully. Okay, I'm not gonna fight it. Um, this is Omar. I'm gonna try to get this up here because I went to this. Come on, come on, come on. I need a break today. I need a break in the comment box. Scroll. There we go. Oh, thank you for the break. Omar says, why do I feel like we Americans will be targeted as the world most wanted criminals and will be arrested as soon as we leave the United States? Not so. You want to hear something that's really interesting about the people here? They feel for us, for some of us. A lot of them don't understand how America could have put a criminal in the White House. That most people around the world do not understand. And so it is something to be said about the American society. But most people in these countries are very logical and reasonable and use reasoning. And they judge everyone as an individual for the most part, from my experience. So, yeah, but I don't think so. I think there's a certain, like, if MAGA folks were traveling around the world and talking there and spewing their trash, they would be called out in a minute on it. But I think regular folks from America can get out in the world. I'm telling you, life is better. No, the battery is fine. Is something wrong with the? Is something wrong with my but I think the program. Kristen says Elon put him there. That's right. Elon put that man there. 'Cause most of the people did not vote for this man. And I think when it's all said and done, we're gonna realize that election was tampered with. No, yeah, I wouldn't go to Iran. I wouldn't go to Iran. I think Iran is off limits, but you wouldn't go there anyway. And so I wouldn't say that. Yeah, there we go. Lisa, how they get the play. Ron, how many tabs do you have open? I just have 3. Oops, I have did I lose my Instagrammers? I think I lost my Instagrammers, but they probably weren't here anyway. My Insta I think I lost my Instagrammers. That's about it. I just clicked on that tab. Lisa says, that's good. Hopefully they get the plate. Ron, how many tabs you have? Okay. And Omar says the attack in Austin is just a precursor of what is going to happen here in the States. I do believe, if I may share, What I believe? I believe you're right, Romar. The attack in Austin is just a precursor of what is going to happen here in the States. America has bombed a country that was not doing anything to America, as in for war. Obviously, there's lots of things we can say about Iran. Iran is not a good place, as in the leaders. The people don't like their government in some cases. But yeah, America, I do believe this is a lot of this chaos is going to be on the shores of America. I don't think the ocean is going to protect us. I don't think the ocean is big enough to protect America from the revenge of what's happening, especially supporting Israel. I don't think it. I don't think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be nice. Leah says, right. Dump is really who cheated. Yeah, yeah. IG streaming is really the worst. I'm now realizing I'm not going to be using Instagram much longer, as in for lives, because the instability, it always looks grainy after you play it back. It's just, yeah, Instagram is just really just for stories. So I'll just use Instagram for most of my stories and just go live from YouTube. Um Christiner says, it's sad if this doesn't stop. They are going to bring America something it has never seen before. I agree. I believe that's what's going to happen. I believe it too. I don't think I don't think America can hide, especially now that we have no we've even tossed our friends away who give us intelligence. And our friends can no longer give us intelligence because they can't trust us. So where does that leave us as a country? It's not a good place. Lisa says, I saw some where the BB was sorry, where that BB has blood cancer, two sick old men taking down the world. I wouldn't put anything past these fools. They're horrible people. They're horrible. And Jazzy says, exactly, Chris. This is making us unsafe, extremely unsafe. War doesn't make anybody safe. Absolutely. Okay, guys. Again, my motivation Monday for you all, get as much as you can, erase the debt. Number two, think big. Think big. Think out of yourself. And I would challenge you, if you can, take some time and go overseas somewhere and live with these people, with people overseas, whether it's in Barbados, whether it's Trinidad, if it's Jamaica, or if it's France or Spain or anywhere. Get out of America just to feel the difference, and then let that difference inspire you to build a more successful life with freedom, true freedom. And Dr. Tachi says the US is like a house that has cut down all of the hedges and taken down the fences surrounding it. Our alleys were the hedges, and the fence we no longer have. We no longer have them. Wow, Dr. Tachi, this is profound. This is a profound statement. The US is like a house that has cut down all of the hedges and taken down the fence surrounding it. Our allies were the hedges, and the fence, we no longer have them. That's deep. Dr. Tachi, that's deep. And I think that's a good way, that's a good place to set. That's a good place to end. But what do we do with that? We have to pray for a better future. We have to pray that all this will make us better as humans. Dr. Tachi, you laid it down. You get the last word. Exactly. Omar says, I'm sharing this. Dr. Tachi, you get the last word. And I'm going to say it one more time because third time is a charm. The U.S. is like a house that has cut down all of the hedges and taken down the fence surrounding it. Our allies were the hedges, and the fence, we no longer have them. And on that note, guys, have a wonderful week. Be motivated. Again, if you're here for the first time and you come across this platform, this page, subscribe if you never subscribed before. If you always remember, when you're in the building, hit the likes. And there you have it. Dr. Tachi has the last word. See you tomorrow.